Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode number 84. I'm your pal, Val, and with me is the amazing Jason. Jason, how are you?
Hey, Val, doing well. Glad to be back.
Great to have you back. And the man, the myth, the legend, PSA Hall of Famer, Logan, how are you, King NasCar?
I'm feeling dueling tonight.
Ah, very nice. We got a great show for everybody today. We're going to check out what's going on in the world of NASCAR. We're going to talk about the Topps F1 that dropped this week, today, while we're recording. And then we're also going to talk about the couple of races that are going on this week here over down in a little place in Daytona, Florida. So we'll get our predictions on that. But I'm super excited, pumped for this week. It's finally happening. We're getting the new season kicked off. So with all the series, super excited for Truck Xfinity and Cup race.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know they had the front row qualifying tonight, right? You know that, right?
Yes, I watched a little bit of it before we started recording.
Yeah, you saw who got the pole.
No surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. A continuation of last year, Kyle Larson and Alex Bowman is going to start second, and then all the other positions will be determined through the dual 150 races on Thursday.
Yeah, it's all happening Thursday and on. We had a lot of news this week coming out. I don't know what we want to hit first.
Yeah, we've got some sad news to start out with. Wendell Scott Jr., who's the son of NASCAR Hall of Famer Wendell Scott, passed away on February 11th. He was a fixture on his father's family team back in the 50s and 60s. And he was there, with his, all his siblings. I think there was like 7 kids that Wendell Scott had. But I know that, we got to meet him and Sybil Scott at the Hall of Fame. Very, very nice people. And I'm very sad to hear that he passed away. But, we just want to pass on our condolences to the Scott family, during this difficult time. So just want to start out with that.
Yeah, some sad news, but definitely integral part to the family. I think he also raced a little as well when Wendell was injured, and he had to, I guess, pick up the mantle and still drive because they still had bills and everything else. So
yeah, that was back in the day when all the teams or all the drivers, when they were racing, they were thinking about feeding their families. They were there to make money to feed families. I mean, a lot of them weren't running for championships. They were running for money so they could pay the bills.
Yeah, I think that kind of gets lost from the new modern era to, years ago, the way they raced and, not really having these big corporate sponsors or these big cash rolls and stuff. And they were basically running from race to race to make ends meet.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you've heard Fred Lorenzen talk about, he ran, all the big money races so he could, help, feed his family, and, he wanted to buy his kids things and things like that back in the day. So yeah, that was the big motivator back then. So got a little bit more news. Found out that the Daytona International Speedway has announced that the Daytona 500 is sold out for this Sunday. So that's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. This is going to be the 64th running of the race, and we've got the next gen cars, so it's going to be an exciting race. So I'm glad to see it sold out. That makes me very happy.
And what's that, like 130,000?
Yeah, something like that. I didn't see the exact total, but yeah, it's a lot of folks.
I saw a little thing like talking about, oh, well, you had 76,000 people at the Super Bowl. Well, we're getting ready to have about 130,000 in Daytona.
Yeah, we're going to double that pretty much, getting dang close anyway. So yeah, that's good. So everybody tune into the Daytona 500 this weekend. So it'll be fun. Another thing that I saw just kind of struck me a little funny, and I don't know if it's funny, but it's actually kind of amazing. NASCAR said that the merchandise sales for the Clash at the LA Coliseum were very, very strong. There were long lines for the merchandise, and especially Bubba Wallace, of all people. They had a lot of people at his merchandise hauler, which they share with Joe Gibbs. That's a big, that's a big telltale sign of his fan base. So I'm glad to see that. I know I bought some merchandise last year when we went to the Nashville race, me and my son. So that was good to hear. I just want to throw that in there.
Well, on that topic of Bubba Wallace and the merchandise, actually it came out today. We're recording on Wednesday that McDonald's and some of the apparel that 23 Excise team will have. So you'll have to go out and check out the website. He was modeling some of it, and I think his girlfriend, a fiance, or modeling some as well. And they have some of the stuff out there on the website. There's some sandals and jackets and shirts and stuff. So it's a take on a lot of McDonald's logo stuff.
Yeah, I saw some of that. That's really cool. They incorporate French fries and other things in there. So it's pretty neat looking.
Yeah, so definitely, out of the box and, appealing to different folks, younger folks. So,
yep, definitely. So I expect the merchandise sales to be strong at Daytona as well. I kind of wish I was there just to watch the race and get some merchandise.
So it's interesting to see we have these new teams or these newer teams, a lot of new blood coming into the sport, and how that kind of translate to cards as well. So I expect to see some of these drivers, their cards will sell pretty well as well.
Yeah, and speaking of the Daytona 500, there's going to be this is the first time I think it's been in the last few races. There's going to be 42 cars entered to qualify for a 40-car field. So 2 drivers are going to miss the race. So that's pretty cool. That gives you a little bit of drama. I mean, I know you've got all of the charter teams, but you still got 6 teams that are going to have to qualify, with 2 of them getting bumped out. So that'll make it a little bit more exciting during the twin qualifiers.
Some of the new names or old names, new names, but I saw Greg Biffle and the Formula One champion.
Yeah, Jacques Villeneuve. Yeah, he's going to be running the 27 car. I kind of hope he makes it. I would like to see him make it. He's been around a long time. I don't know how old he is now, but he's been around for many a year. Yeah, some of the other qualifiers are going to be Kaz Gralla in the 50 car, JJ Yaley in the 55, Noah Gragson in the 62, and Timmy Hill in the 66 car. So those are the 6 that are going to try to qualify on time during the race tomorrow.
Did you see any news about Busch Light Beer and their new campaign?
I have not seen that.
The Accelerate Her campaign. They're taking part of their NASCAR budget and going to allocate it to women drivers, trying to get more women to the cup level. And these are for female drivers that are over 21. And there was a list, I think it was about 8 or 10 women who are going to qualify. So this is going to help like Brittany Zamora and a few other folks, Jennifer Joe Cobb. And so Busch Beer on their own is trying to get more women at the highest level, the cup level.
Wow, that's great. My hat's off to them. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope it really works out well for all those women drivers.
I think this is kind of.
Does this mean that the 7 of them that are pictured? Does that mean that they all will be Busch Light sponsored?
I would think so.
To some degree, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like they're coming in and running a full team. So they're getting a boost in their funding. We always talk about how important it is to have sponsors and to get that funding to help. So, this could get them some better equipment here and there, tires, gas. I mean, I don't know if people realize it, but, you have to pay for tires. You have to pay for gas. And the tires used to be, I think, like $400 a piece. So I don't know if they're still about that or not. So, going to race is very expensive.
Oh, yeah. It's that old saying of how do you make a small fortune? or a small fortune in racing.
Yeah.
You start out with a big fortune.
Exactly. So I think Natalie Decker was in the list and a few others. So I was really excited to see that infusion to help try to get more women into the cup level. I think it'll help NASCAR in the long run. I think it will definitely increase ratings for NASCAR. Half the demographics women, so I think it'll help in the long run. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, no doubt. That's great.
So tell me, because I'm looking at these ladies in the picture, who is Jennifer Joe Cobb? That is somebody I've never heard of. And then I have a follow-up question to that.
Logan, you want that one? Or you want me to take it?
Go ahead.
So Jennifer Joe Cobb, she runs in the truck series. She's a small funded team. I believe her father was a racer as well. She's grown up in the sport and she's been running. She actually has some cards. I think it was 2010, 11, maybe, I don't know, 13 and 14 as well. I don't know why Panini has not pictured her or have her on a card at all. But Logan, I don't know, jump in if there's anything else I'm missing here or obvious.
Yeah, well, she has had some cards in press pass, so that tells you how long it's been and how long she's been in the sport.
I mean, the main reason I ask is looking at the other ladies in the picture, there's definitely an age difference. When you're talking with Cobb versus Decker and Brittany Zamora, there's definitely an age difference. So I didn't know what her historical importance was, or if there was something that I was just oblivious to. So
she's running her own small team, and like we talked about, with whatever funding she can get is what she can run. So for whatever reason, she hasn't gotten the sponsors or big sponsors or whatever it is, but she's out there running.
Yep. And she's a good truck driver. It's just, I think she would really showcase well if she had a lot better equipment, and maybe some of this money can help get her towards that.
And what was your other question?
I guess I didn't really phrase it as a question, but it was the age difference. Just
I gotcha,
because it is noticeable. I mean, and I don't mean that negatively by any stretch, but who she's with.
Yeah, she's not in her early 20s.
Right.
She's probably like in her early 40s maybe, but like I said, she's been driving in trucks for quite a while. I have to pull up her stats here.
If she does nothing of any other importance, that's no small feat in itself. I mean, that she's been doing it for that long. So hats off to her.
She's also run some Xfinity races as well. So she's been around. Yeah, she was born, I just looked it up. She was born in 1973.
So yeah, she's like great at 39, 40.
Yeah, she's 40.
Or no.
She's 40.
49, 50.
Yep.
And so she's been running for 14 years in the trucks, started at age 35, 230 races.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not her first rodeo.
No, but unfortunately though, she only had one top 10.
Yeah, that just kind of goes back to the old thing we've been talking about before, where you could be the greatest driver on the planet, but if you don't have the equipment to help showcase that, you may not ever get a chance at the big leagues. So, that equipment is just as important as having the talent.
Right, and also, she's running for her own team, so trying to field all that. There's definitely economies of scale, when you have multiple trucks where you can take advantage of some of that stuff, or trucks, cars, whatever it is. I don't think she has that. So I think she's a born racer, and she's been running for quite a while. I'm looking back. So from 2011 on, it's at least 12 races up to like 23 races a year. So
yeah, she had 230 races in the trucks and 31 races in Xfinity. And plus, she also ran ARCA back in the day.
And I know this is all my fault. I caused this whole situation, but I'm looking at her cards because, it's been so many years. I wanted to see what the last ones were. They're not cheap. I mean, she has an autograph on eBay that sold for $15, and she has a really nice autograph.
Yeah, she has a very good autograph.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this driver, but all of a sudden I'm very interested. So
yeah, I met her. We talked before the Little 600, which is a race around the Coke 600 time at GoPro Motorplex, where they come or whatever. So and she's also been to the Hall of Fame. They had a few women there as well with not Jennifer Joe Cobb. I'm sorry, Johanna Long. She was another Xfinity driver back in the early 10s as well. So really nice and great autograph. And like I said, I wish, she had some more cards. So
yeah, she has no Panini cards. So like I said, everything's press pass for her.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was awesome that, she's in that class, that first class of Accelerate Her. So there's some other female drivers in there as well. So I'm hoping that this will help. And I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, man, it'd be great if, Budweiser, Busch got on with Panini or whatever and had cards in these cases of beer or whatever, or some kind of
that's what we
regional set.
Might as well put cards back in tobacco. I mean, let's just do it.
Well, it's like giveaway sets or whatever, but anyway, it's all about the cards, man.
With a case of beer.
Well, you know, different beer promotions they've done over the years.
Oh, I know, but things change, Val. Things change.
And they have.
Anyway, we digress. We're already 15 minutes or more, and here we are talking about that. We got Daytona coming up. Let me go over real quick the races for this week. We have the races Thursday night, but Friday night at Daytona International Speedway, we have the Nextra Energy 250 truck race.
That'll probably be the best race of all of them.
I don't know, man. The Xfinity race, the beef, it's what for dinner, 300 at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and then the big one, Sunday, February 20th at 2:30 p.m., Daytona 500. So I'm super excited. It's all going down Friday night all the way to Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, well, starting tomorrow or, on Thursday through Sunday, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on. That's going to be one good thing about me working from home. I can have the qualifiers tomorrow on in the background and be watching that while I'm working. So that's a plus. I like that.
Definitely. And do we have any predictions for who's going to win Daytona 500 this year?
Well, yeah, I think we all do, don't we? You want me to start out? I'll start out.
Go ahead.
All right. Rookie of the year. We're also going to do predictions for the year as well, not just the Daytona 500. So we're going to predict or make our choices for Rookie of the Year, the Cup champion, and I also did a dark horse for the Daytona 500 plus somebody I picked as the winner. So here's my picks. I've got for the Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Harrison Burton in the 21 car. I just think that team is going to mesh real well with him. That car is going to match his driving style. I think he's going to be the best rookie of the three that we've got this year, because it's going to be between him and Austin Cindric and Todd Gilliland. So between those three, that's who I'm picking. And as for the champion this year, I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. He's paid his dues. He's been close. If he has a year this year like he did last year and just does a little bit better, he's the champ. Of course, they're going to have to dethrone freaking Kyle Larson, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm picking Denny Hamlin as my champion. Now, for the Daytona 500, I'm picking a dark horse that has an outside chance of winning. And you guys may laugh at this, I don't know, but I'm going to go with Todd Gilliland. There's something in the back of my mind saying that he has a chance. It's kind of like reminiscent of Trevor Bayne, things like that. So he's a rookie, and he's in the Front Row Motorsports, and Front Row Motorsports won last year. So hey, maybe. So we'll see.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been that name just keeps popping up in my head. I mean, so I went with it. As far as winners go, I'm going to go with a former winner of the Daytona 500. I think it was 2015 when he won, be Joey Logano. From the practice speeds and things I've seen down in Daytona so far, it looks like the Fords overall are running the best out of all the new next gen cars, and Team Penske's up there. So I'm going to go with Joey Logano, and that's my pick for the Daytona 500.
All right.
Okay. You're up, Val.
I'm up.
You're up.
What's the first one?
Whatever order you want to do. He did
Daytona 500 winner. I think I like the Fords, but I'm going with Harrison Burton.
Okay,
going to pull a Trevor Bayne on you.
For the Daytona, okay.
And then for, I guess, Rookie of the Year, I'm going with Harrison Burton as well.
Okay.
For that. And then for champion, I'm going with Chase Elliott.
Think he's going to get his second one, huh?
I think so.
He could very well do it.
It's interesting. So I want to tell you something before I tell you mine. So your prediction for Todd Gilliland, he is a 200-1 odds to win the Daytona 500. So if you would bet $1 and he won, you'd win $200. Harrison Burton, on the other hand, is 75-1. Joey Logano is a 12-1. So, I mean, predictable, I think we could say, for the odds there. It's interesting, though, for my picks compared to yours because they're extremely similar. For the Rookie of the Year, I was going to pick Harrison Burton, and something told me to pick Austin Cindric instead. And that's what I went with. I know when we had talked about them before, they were almost equals and almost a toss-up for that and kind of where they would go. But I picked Cindric, which I'm glad I did. Now I can be different from you two. For my Cup champion, I actually have on here Chase Elliott / Denny Hamlin finally. So I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Hamlin. For the Cup champion, I'm going to go with Hamlin. Daytona, I have Denny Hamlin again because no one has ever won it 3 times in a row. So I guess I'm just going to have Denny Hamlin's going to have a hell of a season. And my actual dark horse, I'll take your words, Logan. In the back of my head, I thought if he wins Daytona, wins a couple, wins the Cup championship, maybe he retires as a driver. That's kind of where my frame of mind was going on that.
Okay.
So, Denny Hamlin for both, and then Austin Cindric for Rookie of the Year.
No dark horse.
I think Denny Hamlin winning it 3 times in a row is a dark horse.
Is a dark horse. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. That's what we think. We'd like to hear what everybody else.
These will be written down and saved, and we will refer to them back at the end of the season.
Yeah, I just saved it too.
All right, good. Well, let's throw out a little bit of trivia here, and we'll answer it after the next segment. But who owns the record for the most career starts in the Daytona 500?
Ooh, Mr. Carter. Ooh.
You're exempt. You can answer it after this next segment.
Okay.
What's the next segment?
I guess 2021 Topps Formula One, probably.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah, here we go.
2021. And everybody it's 2022, and these should have dropped in July of 2021, but the word of the week is supply chain. So, and then they were supposed to be out a few weeks ago, but they finally dropped. Everybody knew they were coming out today. I went out to the Topps UK site, made sure I could log in because login is required, and proceeded to wait. Well, I guess they did something new. I've not seen this, but all of a sudden when I hit a refresh, boom, I was in the queue. So I was like, ooh, I'm in the queue, but I have no idea what I'm in the queue for. I'm assuming it's for F1, but What's really weird though is that they don't have a place, like coming soon or anything like that, right? So, a website is very complicated with lots of different pages, lots of different ways to get to pages and stuff like that. So I found a link on the Twitter account or whatever for Tops UK to get me to where exactly I needed to go. I got back in the queue again, and when I came out of the queue, it was sold out.
You think they were doing a lottery?
I don't know if they said the queue was to allow only a certain number of people on the website or in the website at a time to, I guess, help it from being overrun and wouldn't get flooded with bots or whatever. But whoever was in, and again, I don't know if they had 100,000 boxes for sale or 100 boxes for sale. So long story short, it was about 110 euros, which converts to about $125. And they sold out pretty quick. Later in the day, they were then available on the Topps website, and it was kind of the same thing. You're in the queue, but when you come out of the queue, there's nowhere to go. How do you get to the page? So basically, it's like boxes and packs, and you have to sort by latest available. But by then, they were gone as well, and they were about $125. So they were not 300 or 700 like some of the big three are selling stuff for. They were 125 plus tax plus shipping, so you're looking at about $145. So no autographs, a relic in every other box, and 8 cards a pack, 18 packs a box. Each pack has a parallel or insert, I believe.
I think they had the checker flag.
Yeah. I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, how come F1 can have a checkered flag parallel, but Penny can't have that?
They can't in football.
Oh, don't. Here, pull that knife out of my back. So, I've started to watch some of the breaks, and, I think this is at that, it's a flagship product. It's not a chromium product. It's a 175 card checklist. There's a F2 driver subset. Again, this should have been out, last year. And, they look nice, but I don't know, what that price point is. And as Uncle Rich says, if they sell them at 125, they were probably, packing them at 125 and not at $700 a box. So I'm kind of at a 125. I think these are a buy, but I think you get anything over that. This is a wait and see or pick up what you want on the secondary market. I mean, I know stuff's fun to rip, but this is a little too high for me.
I just don't see how they can justify these $700 a box prices for these things. I mean, you got to think I would like to think Lewis Mania has kind of reached its peak, but I don't know. Maybe it hadn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe these sell for $1,400 a box, and the 700 will look great. But I don't know. I've been doing this too long, and I'm definitely like I said, at the 125, 150, or whatever it is. I think this is a buy and rip. I think after that is probably if you're going to buy, you're going to hold it. But
so, what did you see? Because we talked before we started recording, of course. What was the price again for a case?
I think it was at the big three. It was like $8,300 for.
So that's like a $10 a box discount if you buy a case, something like that, $8-10. So you're looking 12 boxes, correct?
12 box case for $8,350.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an eBay listing that sold today. 2021 Topps flagship F1 Racing 6-box half case break for Lewis Hamilton. So what this is 6 boxes from a case. It's a break. It's a driver break. You get every Lewis Hamilton card that comes out of that break. This person paid $518 for 6 boxes. So average $100 a box, 90, something like that. And we all know, or at least we assume, that most people are getting this for the Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen cards. And this guy paid $518 for 6 boxes, so we'll double that. That's $1,000. That seller still has another $7,000 to make up, to break even on these case breaks, and that just seems impossible to me.
Yeah, even with 40 drivers, I don't know how you do that. I don't see how you break even at that price.
Because my thought was there were only 5 bids, and I know it came out and they probably sold this, had it pre-listed and whatever, and it ended today because of the hype. But 5 bids on your number 1/number 2 driver in the set, you only get 5 bids. Like, that's not, to me, that's not good. That's worrisome, and I can't imagine this seller was only expecting, a little over $500.
Well, maybe Lewis Mania is starting to die down just a little bit. I mean, this is, when you think about it, this won't be his rookie. This is the second year. I mean, 2020 really technically wasn't even his rookie either, but a lot of people seem to look at it that way. So I just don't. I just can't justify some of these prices.
So let me give you 2 more that are from the same seller, just because one is a name I don't know. Lando Norris. I don't know that name. For the 6 boxes, it was $400, and then for Max Verstappen, it was $420. So I mean, there are a couple other names in there, obviously, but still, we're talking how steep this is, and this is not a good.
So I think Lando is the number 2 behind Lewis.
Okay.
On Mercedes, is that right, Logan?
Not. I don't know.
Okay. I believe so. I'll have to double check. And then Verstappen, and then the other one I expect to see is like George Russell. But again, I think, Jason, what you're saying is, there's a big drop off. So,
right.
So Max and Lando, but then some of these other guys.
I saw one sold for $12. On an $8,000 case. That's not good.
That tells you everything you want to know right there. It really does. Think about it. You've got a handful of drivers that are going to get the big money, and the rest of them are the also rans who are not going to get. They're just not going to get that love. It's not going to happen.
So it does Lando say he's the McLaren Mercedes team.
Who's that?
Lando Norris. He is part of the McLaren Mercedes team.
Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, look, I'm learning.
Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn my F1. So,
but they're going to have
point though. If you're one of these other collectors or one of these other driver collectors, you're like super excited to be getting your driver from like nothing.
It would almost be worth the gamble if you didn't know who these people were. I mean, for $12, that's not even one pack. From a $700 box, you can't even get a pack for $12. It's really not a bad gamble. I mean,
not a bad. Buy a few of them.
Right. If one of these guys pops and you just happen to make a little bit of money, you're in the black. So
yeah, imagine if you hit the 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's very true.
And again, all this gambling going on, and then you have. What's that?
You're gonna make me spend money.
That was like, do the podcast and go on ComC or whatever. It's two bad combinations or whatever. But yeah, I think, with the F1 and the collectors, they're probably still off of that high of last year. But some of us, we've been collecting a long time, and I'm kind of leery. This is a good product, and Topps did a good job, but it's a flagship. We have these other market things at play that we can't see, right? So the distribution chain and how those are allocated and stuff like that. So we definitely want collectors. We want, F1, NASCAR collectors, everybody else, but we want them to be around for a while as opposed to getting burned and then leaving the hobby. So
yeah, spending $700 and the prospect of getting, I think the odds are good of not getting a lot out of that $700. I don't know that I see the value.
With me, I get spend the 700 in my box. I don't even get a relic.
Yeah, you have a 50-50 shot of getting a relic. So did you talk about the parallels that they're going to have, the different ones?
I did not yet. You want me to do that, or are you going to do it?
I can do it if you want.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, they're going to have Aqua Parallels that are from 199. They're going to have blue numbered to 99, gold numbered to 50, orange to 25, black numbered to 10, and red numbered to 5. And they're going to have what they call a foil fractor, which is the 1 of 1. So everybody will be looking for those. And did you see also, Val, that there's going to be a sparkle foil parallel that are exclusive to Blaster value boxes?
I did see that. Coach DGS, I guess they had changed the pack out or whatever, and so they were getting the updated information. So one of the other things, too, is that Walmart has a marker placed, or they have it. If you go out to walmart.com and look up the 2021 Topps Formula One, you'll see their blasters are 1994, but they're not in stock yet. So, which means there will be a stock drop at some time. So, if you have been shut out of the hobby, or you want to try to get it at cost, then that's probably another suggestion I would try.
Have we had F1 blasters in the past?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, they're doing a light box and they're doing a blaster box.
What's a light box?
You can make me go out to and look.
Yeah, all I saw were the blaster value boxes with the sparkle foil parallels. Is all I saw. I don't know if they're going to have something else other than that. It'll be interesting to see if they show up at Target, especially like my Targets around me. I mean, I might buy a couple of them, but I guess it also depends on what they're, what else is going to be in there. I mean, I guess you still have a chance of getting 1 of 1s and all that. At least I would like to think.
Well, and we all know, the struggles that we face with NASCAR cards popping up in retail. It's not as plentiful as the other sports, so it makes me wonder how this will go for F1.
So the light box is in chrome, and it's a 16 packs, 4-card pack for Topps Chrome Formula One, as opposed to hobby box, which is going to be 18 packs a box, 4 cards per pack.
I got a feeling, judging from what we're seeing from Topps's suggested retail price of what they sold them for today versus what they're already going for on the secondary market, that we're going to see probably some flippers and whatnot going after these boxes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I got a feeling that they're going to be hard to find, and you're going to be back, at least on this product, back to the days of people following the vendors around town and getting all of the boxes they can.
Yeah, it's definitely still happening, but it's also very much slowed down because you see pictures of people, what they're posting on Twitter and social media, and the shelves are full once again. But then, now I've seen a lot of people complaining today about production runs and all that stuff, and that's a whole nother ballgame. But it's not as difficult, but it's still out there.
Yeah, and again, for set collectors, that's a big 175 card set.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this is how in the world can they have 175 cards? I mean, I know they've got 40 drivers just like we do in NASCAR. And,
Well, I was going to say the first 57 are F1 drivers. The next block are F2 drivers, future stars. Then from 80 to 95 is F1 crew. Then they go F1 cars, F2 cars, Grand Prix winners, Grand Prix driver of the day, award winners, and then F1 freshest. And that's your 175 cards.
I actually kind of like that they're spacing out what they have and giving, a designated allotment of cards for all these drivers, because you may never get those drivers on a piece of cardboard again, especially some of the guys in F2. because who knows, it's what we talk about every week, how long this F1 trend is going to last for cards, especially.
See, now I think the F2 cars or F2 drivers are that's probably where I would target as, as a prospector or something for later on. But
because I can't imagine they've had anything prior to this.
They would only be in the tops now. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's the 2021 Topps F1 flagship.
Yeah, and I just looked at that. There's 18 different Lewis Hamilton cars, and if you want to throw in the image variation, that's 19.
That's not, I mean, we kind of laugh and joke about it. That's not terrible. I mean, when you consider the base, the car, the award winners, I forget what else he said there at the end.
The freshest and the
driver
of the day.
Think that's terrible compared to what we joked is what it would be, him looking to the left, looking to the right, and all these different poses. It's not terrible.
Yeah, but that's still over 10%.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I'm with Val. I think the play is on the Formula 2 drivers and which one of those guys is going to come up and be the next Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton.
Now, let me ask you guys, because I have not ever purchased a single F1 card of anything. Have they used any sort of rookie card designation? And do we expect anything for the F2 cards?
I do know they do have the rookie logo on like the chrome and some other stuff. And I don't remember the F2 drivers. I think they have it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on the F1 drivers, but I don't know for sure on F2.
Yeah, because I don't think there have been any card images released like with an actual driver on them. We've gotten some silhouette cards, but that's about it.
Are these the same design as the baseball, flagship baseball?
I think they're close. That's one of the things, just off the top of my head, they kind of look like they were close, but.
Let me look. Yeah, same design.
That's kind of what I thought.
It should have been last year's baseball design.
Well, it is. It's
okay.
21 baseball, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. I may have to get in on a few of these breaks just to see what happens.
I already bid on about 10 guys I've never heard of.
Well, you're going to have to report back then.
Well, I figured if I start bidding on them, I'll know tomorrow to look when I'm at work. If I'll get the outbid notification, because I just went and did $1 on a bunch. That way I would get the notification that I was outbid, and then I could start following it. So, because the ones that I saw still had 15 or 16 hours left. So that's, tomorrow about, 2:00 Eastern. So my afternoon could be busy.
Priorities, man, priorities.
That's right.
So, yeah, if you've gotten the Topps 2021 flagship, let us know how you like it.
Yeah, I'd be glad to hear what people have to say about it. To me, it just seems like it's a lot of cards, 175 cards for a set.
When did it say that it was going to ship?
It's shipping. It's already shipped today or yesterday, so people have been getting it today.
Okay.
Which is Wednesday. This will be released on Friday. So,
okay.
So I guess now's a good time to let everybody know who owns the record for the most career starts in the Daytona 500. Any guesses?
I think I know.
I'm gonna go with Petty. I don't know.
That's most a good guess.
Richard.
That's a good guess, but that's not it. It's going to be Dave Marcus.
That's correct. He's competed in the Daytona 500 every year from 1968 until 1999, finishing with a record 33 starts.
And here's another little piece of trivia on Dave Marcus that a lot of people probably don't know is, he doesn't, when he was driving, he did not wear your typical racing shoes, the ones that are kind of, have whatever treatment they have to keep your feet from getting burned, which they still got burned anyway because it just got so hot. But Dave Marcus, he wore your regular, I think they were maybe like Tom McCann wingtip shoes. Those were the shoes he would wear to drive a race car. He said those things helped insulate him the best, and they were most comfortable. And so he wore wingtip shoes when he drove a race car. So there you go.
There you go.
Do you see his record as something that will be broken ever? I can't imagine.
I don't know that it will. I mean, you got to think, even Jeff and Jimmy didn't do that.
Yeah, that was kind of the first thing that I thought of too. First people. Yeah,
I mean, look how many Richard Petty was in. He didn't even do that. So, yeah, I don't see this thing getting broken anytime in the near future. Maybe not in our lifetime anyway.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking if, I took Kyle Busch, his rookie was in 2004, and then added, what was it, 33 starts. That puts him running till 2037.
Nah, he's retired by then.
So that's a lot of Daytona 500s. And he's also in the 1972 STP set, which is celebrating 50 years this year. Yeah,
I was lucky enough to get to meet him back about 26, 27 years ago in Phoenix, and he was a really super nice guy. That was when he was running the Prodigy car. You remember Prodigy?
Yep.
The competitor of AOL. That was actually some of the best funding I think he had ever had for himself, because he started out, I think, running for Penske back in the day when he first started. I think that's where he got his wins. I think he's got 2 wins. I'm trying to remember.
I think that's about right.
But yeah, he got those running for Roger Penske. So yeah, there you go.
All right. We have any eBay auctions?
Yeah, we do, as a matter of fact.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me give another trivia here before we start the eBay auctions. Why was the 1974 Daytona 500 shortened to 180 laps? Okay. What kind of eBay auctions you got?
Okay. I've got one that's very timely that ended on the 16th. It's the 2021 Topps Formula One Flagship Racing sealed case, 12 boxes, hobby boxes. It sold for, drum roll, $5,785. Buy it now.
So that's $482 a box?
$482 a box, yes.
Wow.
So watch out for the flippers. They may run over you in Walmart and Target. So, yeah, so the prices have been set. There you go. You're not going to get one for 125. You're not going to get one for 250. You're not going to get one for 300. You may luck out and get one for 400 or something, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the gauntlet has been dropped on this.
Amazing.
It is unbelievable. So the big card of the week was on February 12th. It was and of course, another F1. 2020 Topps Chrome Formula One Sapphire out of 70. I think it's out of 70 cards. Max Verstappen. And no, it's out of, I think he's got out of 70, but I can't say that that's exactly right. Anyway, it's a PSA 10. And it sold for a buy it now price of $9,999.99. $10,000.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was the big card sale of the week. That one right there. It was a PSA 10, so I can see it kinda, but still $10,000 for that is pretty steep.
And the season really hasn't been started yet, right? Usually this is the lull right before the storm when the season picks up. So I guess we haven't seen that with F1 though. I know I've seen it with NASCAR. There's some good prices to be realized right now.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say maybe there's no such thing as a lull in Formula One right now. Maybe NASCAR is the only thing that does have a lull, but that's fixing to change.
Yeah.
All right. Something else I saw on the 15th, 2020 Prism Ty Gibbs Red and Blue Hyper Prism out of 30 sold for best offer accepted of $185.51 for Ty freaking Gibbs. And speaking of Ty freaking Gibbs, they announced it, I think, today that he is running full time in the Xfinity Series. Wow, that was a really well kept secret.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the worst kept secret in the garage.
No doubt. I mean, they officially announced it today. It's like, because I saw a tweet by Ty Gibbs about that, and I retweeted it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, tell us something we didn't know, Ty Gibbs. Ty freaking Gibbs. Something else that's kind of cool that I saw was a President's Choice, which we've talked about those. These are not licensed, but they're still pretty cool cards. President's Choice Solitaire Dual Patch of Dale Jarrett and Joe Nemechek. And it's, of course, they're all 1-on-1s. It went for $100. Buy it now. And I think the Jarrett had like a Ford emblem, and the Nemechek had his name. Had Nemechek on it. So it was a pretty cool looking dual patch. So I can see why somebody would pay $100 for that. It was really nice.
Yeah, getting the Ford logo in that would be cool.
Yeah,
it sounds like a deal. And I remember from working at Steel City, those brands like Sport Kings, President's Choice just did not get the love because they weren't, the mainstream Panini Tops Upper Deck and all that. But always had really nice cards.
Yeah, I was impressed the way this thing looked. It was pretty. If you want to say pretty for a NASCAR card, but also there was on the 14th there was a 1983 Uno Richard Petty number 23 SGC 9 went for a best offer accepted of $350, and they were asking $450. So what do you think about that, Val?
Well, I was gonna say I think it sounds a little low, but I guess it's an SGC holder, so.
Yeah, I thought it was a little low too.
But I don't think you can go wrong for the King and how tough those are.
No, the 83 Unos just don't come up every day. I mean, there's always a handful out there, but they're going to command, especially the Earnhardt and the Petty are going to command some big bucks. Not to mention maybe Darrell Waltrip and a few others.
It's a good substitute for 72.
What do you think that would have been if it was a PSA or a Beckett graded card as far as the selling price goes? But before you answer, if you're a seller and you had it graded with SGC and you paid $30 to get it graded versus, $100 from PSA, maybe that $70 difference has already been made up. And then you're not waiting as long either. But what do you guys think it would have been if it was a PSA 9?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be maybe twice that much, maybe $600-$700.
That's what I was thinking. $600.
Yeah, that's a significant increase.
Yeah, you're going to pay for that PSA flip, but they always do garner the better prices. So, but yeah, I thought whoever got that was a good deal. That may be one worth cracking out. I don't know. I didn't really look at it with a magnifying glass, so I don't know how the corners and everything looked or how the back looked. And of course, we all know those things scuff real easy. So right. I mean, who knows? It probably would come out as a PSA 8 if you crossed it over, more than likely. It always seems to be like one grade below whatever SGC says. So I also saw a 1989 Max Dale Earnhardt number 3 PSA 10, and of course they say the Intimidator. Wow, thank you. Went for $800, best offer accepted, and they were asking $1,099.99 for it. So I think that's down from what we saw during all the madness last year, because I think PSA 9s were getting close to that price last year. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's getting a little bit better.
So it's a PSA 10 for about $800.
Yeah, it's a PSA 10 for $800.
Still, I think is good. I know, we talked about the toolboxes are the best way to get some nice 9 and 10. So, and that's again a beautiful card with that yellow, orange, and green backs.
Yeah, it's definitely a NASCAR glamour card without a doubt.
But I think that's more in line, like you said, than some of the craziness we saw. But still a good price.
Yeah, I mean, I think whoever bought it paid what it's worth. I don't think they got a deal, or I don't think they stole it. I think that's probably about where that thing is falling right now. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Also saw, and these things are coming out of the woodwork, it seems like, the Lewis Hamilton Sports Illustrated for Kids 2009, I'll use air quotes, rookie card, went for $150 raw. And that thing, I think, was way off center. Didn't look all that great. They were asking $350, but the $150 was the best offer accepted. But I've noticed a ton of those lately. I don't know about you guys, but there's been all of a sudden there's been like a bunch of those things. It's like, I guess everybody's going back in time trying to find what they can, what they can sell and max out the price on. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of those have started to, like you said, come out of the woodwork. I mean, I like that card, but I don't like the card because it's just a picture of the car. It's not a picture of him.
Yep. Yeah, and the majority of those cards that I have seen are off center. So whenever they ran the little perf machine over the cards, they didn't line it up at all. So good luck finding one centered, because it seems like the majority of them are way off center, that where if you send them in for grading, you're going to get a whatever grade OC from PSA, because they're not even close to being centered. All right. Also saw a color blast Jeff Gordon, which we were talking about Jeff Gordon last week, from this year's Prism. It went for $207.58 with 28 bids. So that was a lot of bids, but really, is for as much as those things were going for earlier in the year, and it is Jeff Gordon and it is his first year with Panini, I don't think that was really that bad of a deal, because those cards are beautiful. I love the way those things look.
Yeah, I think somebody got a good deal on that one.
I think they did. So kudos, whoever got that, you did great.
Because you know how hard those color blasts are to get.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you're not even guaranteed one every case. It's like every other case, maybe there's a color blast, because you got to compete with the lava flow cards as well. One more thing that I saw was a 87 World of Outlaws Jeff Gordon number 52 PSA 10 rookie card, $800, best offer accepted. The guy was asking $895. He settled for $800. So again, that's kind of like the Dale Earnhardt 89 Max. I think it's about what you're going to pay for that card these days. I think that's a reasonable price.
That's a good card. It's
a very good card. I remember buying mine back in the day. I think I paid $125 for it and thought I was paying a lot of money. I wish I'd bought some more at that time.
Yeah, I think I got a 9.5 on mine that I picked up. I don't think I could afford a PSA 10 back in the day. So,
but that's definitely a glamour card, and that's definitely a Mount Rushmore of NASCAR card for sure. So, I've got a few more, but they're really not worth mentioning. I hit all the high spots. So
okay.
That's the eBay Indian auctions of this week.
All right. And follow up with a trivia here. So why was the 1974 Daytona 500 shortened to only 180 laps? Any guesses?
I think it was the gas crisis.
That is right, because America's energy crisis at the time, the 74 Daytona 500 was actually the Daytona 450.
Yeah, I don't know how much gas they really saved. I guess they were just kind of just, saying, hey,
for sure, yeah.
We sympathize with you guys, and we're going to shorten the race by 50 laps.
So I don't know how old the listening crowd is, but I remember as a kid sitting in the back seat of the car in line at the gas lines to get gas for the car. So
yeah, I do too. I remember my dad moaning and groaning about the prices and stuff too.
Yeah, back then, what, 10 cents?
15 yeah, it wasn't jack at all back then, but still, it's
sure our age, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason's probably like, what? Yes.
Youngster.
Anything else we want to talk about? that I missed? We missed?
I think that's it. I mean, let's just gear up for racing. My son's coming over this weekend, and we're gonna, we alternate years. I was over at his house last year. He's coming over to my house this year to watch the race. In fact, Saturday we've got a big day planned. We're going to go out and we're going to go to a card show. We're going to go probably run some Targets and Walmarts and whatnot, and just have a day like we used to when he was little before he, life got in the way.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. It's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward. I do have another trivia question or two you can throw out real quick. Who was the first female driver in the Daytona 500?
Hint, hint. She also drove in Indy cars.
That's very true. That would be Janet Guthrie. She made history in 1977 Daytona 500. Finished 12th when her car engines blew 2 cylinders with 10 laps to go, though she still earned the honor of top rookie. And then also, which NASCAR driver owns the record for the most Daytona 500 victories?
This is a lob. You lob this one up. This is easy.
This
King.
one's for Jason. Yes.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He won how many times, Logan?
7.
7 times. So when they're talking about Denny Hamlin and some of the other guys, the King has won it 7 times. So
yeah, that is why he's the king, or at least one of the reasons he's the king.
One of the many, yes. But
yes, one of the many. Going back to Janet Guthrie real quick, she does have some autographs in Press Pass Legends, so they're very affordable, and she is a history making woman. So I've got her autograph. I've not been fortunate enough to ever meet her, but you can go check out, and she's got cards and autographs in Press Pass Legends.
Yeah, I picked some up. They are working on a movie, I think, for her, or one of these something. I think Hilary Swank she's gonna play her. So that should be coming out here, and I guess next year or two or something. So
yeah, she had back in the day, especially when she was running. Well, actually, really when she was running stock cars and Indy cars, she had a lot of female-oriented products as her sponsors, which was pretty cool back in the day. So that was a lot of awareness for women in NASCAR back then. She was definitely ahead of her time.
Yes, she was. And then really ahead of her time, Louise Smith, 1949 racing.
Yeah.
So,
I think she might have been in the second NASCAR race, not the first one in Charlotte, the first Cup race. I think she was in the second race. Where was that? I'm trying to remember. Was it Martinsville? I don't remember.
But, yeah, I think she was like in 11 races over the years, but just kind of tie in that with accelerate her, some of that. So
yeah, awesome. There's been women in NASCAR since the very beginning.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Not for a very long time through the year. So
yeah.
But I guess we'll leave it for this week. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hopefully they enjoy the races, and we'll be back here next week to recap the winners, highest finishing rookies, and their trading cards. So I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Panini America. And then for me and the guys, we will catch you next week.